Good morning, Merry Christmas. It is Christmas morning and I'm going to be making myself a Caribbean breakfast. And I'm not showing you all the elements that I put together for the breakfast, but I will be sharing how to make cocoa tea. And cocoa tea to Americans might be referred to as hot cocoa or hot chocolate. And I'm following my mother's recipe, if you will. She's from Dominica, the island of Dominica in the Caribbean, also known as the Nature Isle or Whitey Kabuli by the native Caribs. But I'm tweaking it a bit since I am on keto, so a few things will be different, but I'm sure that it's going to taste the same. Still going to taste delicious. But anyway, if you go ahead and watch me make cocoa tea, then keep on watching. So first you want to start with a clean saucepan, add some water in there, gauge about how much tea you're going to want to make. Fill that up with some water, add at least 2 leaves, bay leaf, and I'm adding 1 cinnamon stick. And you're going to let that boil for a little bit before adding in your cocoa. Now, I couldn't get the cocoa sticks like what my mom uses, so I just got these cocoa nibs or cacao nibs. I think I got them from HEB, if I'm not mistaken. So, big mistake, these don't melt. So, you'll see me go through a whole process. I'm going to try to scoop some of these out and put them in the bullet. And that helps, but normally you would have the cocoa stick and you could just put that in there and that would melt away, but that's not happening for me today, so I had to go through a few extra steps. But anyway, not much changes. Now here's what I was telling you about earlier. You see me here trying to desperately scoop out some of those cacao nibs into that holder for my bullet so I can blend these or pulverize these or whatever term you want to utilize. But I'm determined to make cocoa tea, so yeah, this is what I had to resort to. Let's see. Looking good, looking good. Now I'm just going to pour that into the rest of the pot. And we're going to continue with everything, the process as normal. All right, now it's time to add the milk. So my mom usually adds coconut milk, but I have some almond milk in my fridge and unsweetened, so that's what I'm going to use. And there are no measurements for this. You just add to your own liking. So I'm adding my almond milk. Next, you're going to give it a big stir and then add in a splash of nutmeg. Now, after your nutmeg, you want to go ahead and thicken your cocoa tea since we don't want it to be watery. My mom usually uses Toloma, but since I don't have any of that and I'm on keto, I'm using xanthan gum. And I'm just putting 1/4 of a tablespoon or so in some water back in that blender. And I'm going to blend that quickly. And I'm going to gradually pour it in and stir that into the tea. So it will thicken, and the heat is medium to low, somewhere within that range. And we're just going to let that simmer before we move on to the next step. Okay, now it's time to add in a little bit of vanilla essence, like very little. Pour that in and probably give it a light stir. Sweet, 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 sweet. Now it's time to sweeten your tea. So I'm using my sugar replacement Swerve. You can use whatever whatever sweetener you use. And you're just going to do a little bit at a time and make sure you taste it. Make sure it's not too sweet. Remember that this is raw cocoa or raw cacao, however you say it. It is bitter. So make sure you do a taste test. When it's all good, then we can move on to straining. Now I'm going to go ahead and strain that tea. It's been cooling down for a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour that into the strainer. And you're going to see all those cacao nibs that refused to melt, along with the bay leaf and the cinnamon. Make sure you let everything drain through. And then you just go ahead and transfer that to your serving mug and enjoy. Yummy, yummy, a delicious, pretty color, nice and warm. Yeah, and this will definitely fill you because there's that thickener, so it's not very thin. And here you have it, my cocoa tea or hot chocolate. And yeah, this is my breakfast. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.